I don't want you to get hurt. That's it.
Look,
I don't want you to get hurt. That's it.
Hey, Mitch, what's going on, man? Mitch, what's going on? Huh?
You ain't cracking. You just drank too much. You're doing extra. Sit up. Did you have a lot to drink? Any drugs? You feeling harming yourself? Okay. Any medical conditions we need to know about? Oh, you're sitting all awkward. Even if something hurt, sit upright.
to check them out, you know.
Again, probably because you're sitting there. Now, until you get AMR here, sit up. We're gonna have you sit in the whole tape until AMR gets here.
You gotta pick up your feet.
Pick up your feet.
Gotta pick up your feet.
Man, what's up, everybody? It's Danny from the Constitution State here today. I hope everybody's having a good day. This comes to us from the New Haven Police Department in New Haven, Connecticut, one of the worst departments in the state. It seems like all of our departments in the state that are in the cities are absolute trash. And New Haven might just be in the news more than anybody else. Everybody remember this? Back in 2022 when they paralyzed Richard Randy Cox, leading to the largest police misconduct lawsuit ever of $45 million. Do you guys believe that $45 million is going to cover all of his medical bills from the incident until the time he dies, and all the care that's going to come with it since he's paralyzed? Well, we knew this would happen. I'm surprised it hasn't happened quicker and sooner, but January 2024, a panel of state arbitrators investigating Cox's paralysis recommended that the New Haven police officer driving the van at the time of the incident be reinstated. This just shows they're either delusional or just flat out corrupt, trying to get this criminal his job back. In their decision, the panel said the police union did not have just cause when it terminated Officer Oscar Diaz. They said it wasn't Oscar's fault that he was paralyzed. How's it not Oscar's fault that he's paralyzed? He's 100% the reason this man is paralyzed. It is 100% his fault. Not only was he transporting this prisoner with no seatbelt on, so he was breaking a traffic law, and he was doing 11 miles over the speed limit, doing 36 and a 25. I bet you if he was doing 25 and hit the brakes, it would have been a lot easier for that van to slow down. But that's just me. I'm not a cop. I didn't do 3 months of training. Look at how these fools park at the department on a daily basis. They block the sidewalk so you can't use the sidewalk at all. Imagine being in a wheelchair, being handicapped or blind. You wouldn't even be able to use the roads around the department because these idiots park like this. So it seems like they support this type of behavior. They only condemn it when it's caught and put on a national level. I went to this department 3 months after they did this to Randy Cox, after they went on the news and they told everybody they were reformed and they're not about that. And what'd they do? They assaulted me and hurt me for filming in the lobby. And let's not forget about the time that the officer had the open container on his front seat of his car and all these prescription bottles. This department has no integrity and they don't care. They put it right out in the open and they prove it on a daily basis. And this is just some of the things that I have seen there.
Can you step out back from the glass, please?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Step back from the glass.
I'm good.
I'm gonna say it again. Step
That's-
back from the glass.
I'm good. Thank you. Gloves on. Go ahead, come put your hands on me, you fucking loser.
Step away from the glass.
When I'm done, I will.
Step away from the glass.
Don't touch my shit. Who the fuck do you think you are? You're a fucking loser, bro. You're a fucking loser.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you ask. You think I listen? It doesn't. If it's private, you shouldn't have it there. Is it illegal to stand right there? Is it illegal? Is it illegal? It doesn't matter what you ask. What do you think? You can just ask whatever you want and I have to listen? You're a fucking loser. That's fine.
You. Hold on, I need everybody's name and badge number. Can I get your names? No, because when I step out, you're not going to give them. Okay, what's yours? What is it? Right here is not how you tell your name.
You see it right here.
Right here.
Rita Evans, let's go.
Don't touch me, please. Can I just get the names?
You can step out. You could step out. You have them right there on our shirt.
Evans,
That's
88, go
enough.
ahead.
What's yours?
42, come on.
What's your name? I don't know how to say
Alright.
that. Can you stop touching me, please?
You need to leave.
You guys are a bunch of fucking clowns. What's your name?
Dan, you're so worried about the general public. You're tying up everyone's day.
Tying up. If you were worried about the public, you wouldn't fuck with somebody not breaking the law. Oh, bunch of pussies! Done. For, well, I gotta sign it.
So she probably still has it.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, man, thank you.
That's fine, or do you want me to report?
Make a report, bro. Make a report.
Yeah, I gotta be.
It's your business, I'm talking to somebody.
Calm down, yo. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do?
There's a lot of stuff on the
Yeah. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I can talk. I can
Public
talk.
lobby, man, relax.
Yep. Here we go. Another one. No, we're not.
We're helping our citizens
Yeah.
properly educate himself and protect himself.
Why are you yelling, yo? You should get a new job. You shouldn't be working for the public.
What the hell is this? Has Satan been loosed? Yes. Are we reaching the end of Satan's short season? Maybe. This was watching YouTube. This was literally driving, watching YouTube. What is going on? This is like a circus, dude. This is literally like a circus.
Can I get your name, badge number, bud? No? You're a fucking bitch, bro. That's how you treat the public? You're a scumbag. Little Silent Sally. Why is this clown over here watching YouTube instead of working? Why don't you get him for parking? Oh, because you're not a cop. You're just a clown in a costume. Fairy. What's up with this guy watching YouTube right here? Hanging out. No comment? What's up with the car in front with the big bottle of liquor and all the pill bottles sitting on the seat? No comment? What's going on here? This looks like a circus, not a police department. You guys ever gonna crack down on these officers? No? I'll take that as a no. Can we get this car that's illegally parked moved or ticketed like anybody else would? God forbid somebody did the right thing. That's too hard. It's hard here in New Haven. What up? Can I get your name and badge number?
Yeah, YouTube.
Thank you, bud. What's your name?
Chris.
Do you usually watch YouTube when you're driving around?
I do on occasion, yeah. What do you got?
No, you're doing it right now.
Oh, okay. You doing live stream?
No, not right now.
Have a good day, sir.
You too. Stay safe, dude. And these are the 5 officers here that were charged. They were only charged with 2 petty misdemeanors. It's now been almost 3 years later and they're still going through court. But this video is about Oscar Diaz. This is the actual driver, the man that's 100% responsible for this man being paralyzed. I didn't know there was actually footage from when he hit the brakes. And it really blew my mind that they had all these cameras in that van, but they didn't have one facing forward. And it does show a car pull out a little past the stop sign, but it was nothing like what Diaz told everybody. Diaz said there was a car that pulled out in front of him and he had to jack on his brakes. And from the video, it appears like he did not have to jack on the brakes. There was no cars coming. He could have easily just went in the other lane if he had to. He was already driving around without this dude having a seatbelt on. He was speeding. Why not add more stuff to it? I just found it weird within a minute of him kicking on the walls and making all this noise, he needed to slam on the brakes like he did. And I guarantee you, if he wasn't going 11 miles over the speed limit, that wouldn't have been as bad. He would have stopped a lot sooner. And there still are other officers out there waiting on rulings on. But I find it weird that they gave the guy who caused all this his job back. The guy who said he was going to bring him to the hospital and made the complete wrong decision and brought him to the police department is getting his job back. Like, this whole situation could have been avoided if he had simply brought him to the hospital or waited for an ambulance. instead of bringing him to the department where all these fools who don't have schooling and barely any training are going to play doctor. And they're going to tell him he's faking it and this and that.
Looking for a black male, skinny, in his late 20s. He's wearing a white, red, and a black t-shirt. Buddy, hey, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you for a second? Whatever, quick. What's up? Whatever, quick. Just hold up, okay?
Alright, what's up? Is there anything on you?
Anything on you?
My phone, what? I'm on the phone with the girl. Cover my mind.
All we're doing is detaining you right this second, okay? Done. Done. Sarge, 75!
Alright.
Alright, step right in there.
Got it?
One leg at a time.
One leg
Yeah,
at a
watch your
time.
head.
Watch your head, alright?
Yo. That's right.
$619-836-34. Mansfield, division in Mansfield.
Hey, Bruce.
Car then took a left on Division Street towards Dixwell Avenue.
It's telling that you're inactive.
Well, on the way here, somebody crossed me over, so I was stopping the brake, but I don't know. He said he fell inside the van, and he told, you know, I opened the door and checked. I was talking to him, and he said he can't move. So if he really fell, I would not even move it until the end where it gets here, because just in case.
I cannot move.
Cox, either we can move you or you can wait till AMR moves you.
I cannot move. I cannot move.
Okay, do you want us to help you?
It don't stay my way. Listen,
What happened?
if I don't stay my way, I cannot move.
Yeah, no.
I cannot move. I'm on one leg.
Just be careful. He was kicking the door and everything else before, you know.
Alright, ready?
Try to stretch that leg first.
Sir, you see his leg?
You see that leg to the wall? Exactly. No, if you take the key to open the door, the whole thing shuts off.
Yep, you're trying to straighten it out. I mean,
I can't even feel it. Hear it?
yep.
I feel it in my arm.
Is it stuck there or no?
Yeah.
What if we take the cuff? I mean, we're in here
Take
already,
off-
so take the
take-
cuff
take
off.
off the cuffs.
Yeah.
Can you give me some light?
You know what? Let me turn the key on, and I'll give you some lights.
Don't worry about that. I don't worry about handcuffing people. What handcuff?
No, but I mean just to move him out.
Yeah,
you know?
walk in there. Yeah. I'm gonna be harmless today. You're gonna be harmless.
Okay, stretch out, Cox.
16.
Stretch out, Cox. Stretch your arm out.
Put your arm up.
Put your arm out. You don't have cuffs anymore. Take them out from behind your back. There we go. Now move your leg down.
These are
Take that left leg. Move it down. Can you grab that left leg? Yeah. Roll over to your back.
remove that leg or not?
Look at my hand. Okay, come here. Fuck that.
Move your leg.
Just roll it over to the side.
Sit up.
I can't move.
You're not even trying.
Tell him back. I get it.
Listen.
I'm not even joking about it. Just try to get him by the shoulder.
Look.
All right.
Turn your body.
You hurt me more.
No, I'm trying to turn your body.
Turn your body. You're not listening.
You're not even trying.
There we go. Turn your body. See?
Oh, shit. Hold on. That's
Okay, now stretch out.
Come on. Come on, or we're gonna pull you out.
Slide down, my man.
No, dude.
Yo, slide down so you can get out of here.
Look. If you're gonna drive me, do it properly.
All right.
Yep. Yep. Yes, man. Yep.
I look all right myself.
What's the hand?
All right.
Now, almost there. You're almost there. You gotta get your shoulders out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Stand up. There we go. All right.
Get up.
Now, how you making up? Ready? Actually, go get that shit.
Get the
Yeah, we ain't.
wheelchair.
Hey, Mitch, what's going on, man? Mitch, what's going on? Huh?
You ain't perfect. You just drink too much. No, you drink too much.
Okay.
Sit up.
We ain't gonna take that weight soon.
Yeah, no, we get the chair.
Yeah, I was fine. We're gonna try to be easy. Today's Sunday.
Listen, he was fine walking.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, he was kicking that door, no problems.
Hold the tackle. Hold the tackle. Hold on. Ready? 1, 2.
I can't feel it.
Sit up.
Oh my God, yo.
Yeah, sit up. You're doing extra stretch. Sit up.
Yeah.
Sit up. What else did you have? Did you have the drugs out? You're not fine. How many did you have? Okay. How much did you have to drink? Huh? No, that's it. Okay, but we're asking you now. We need to write that down for AMR purposes. Did you have a lot to drink? Any drugs? You feel like harming yourself? Okay. Any medical conditions we need to know about? All right.
Oh, okay, what?
Yes, that. All this stuff.
Did the Trinidadian party on? Richard, put your hands out.
No cash here. I can't help it. Just be paid. Keep.
You don't have anything on your shirt?
Move here, guys. I'll take off here. Oh, don't move your head.
Oh, you're sitting all awkward. Even if something hurt, it sit upright.
If I could, I would.
Okay? He has not.
Yeah. All right.
You see? Put your hair up. Here.
Here, just sit. Yes.
I'm gonna tell you what should have heard.
You're gonna charge yourself on belt earrings.
Wow.
Laces.
Yes. And cell phones in condition.
I got it.
That's it.
So, you want that para sa
Yeah, I mean, just to check them out, you know.
I'm fucking hurt, man. My knees, man.
You got it probably because you're sitting there. Now, until you get AMR here, sit up.
Yeah. It's
You can put them in the holding tank.
why would I lie?
We're gonna have you sit in the holding tape until AMR gets here.
You gotta pick up your feet.
Oh.
Pick up your feet.
Gotta pick up your feet.
Oh my God! Yeah, fucking broke my neck. I can't. Look. I can't read this. I can't read this.
What is this?
So these were the 5 officers involved: Luis Rivera, Jocelyn Lavendier, whatever that is, Ronald E. Presley, Betsy Segura, Oscar Diaz. But of course, Ronald retired before he could get held accountable through the department. As stated, they were all charged with 2 petty misdemeanors, and now they're all upset that Oscar is getting his job back. Maybe if they charged them appropriately like they should have, it would have been easier to keep this criminal from getting his job back. I found this in one of the papers. This was a timeline. June 19th, 2022, the incident takes place. So last Juneteenth, Cox was arrested on weapons charges and placed into the rear seat of a police van that had no seatbelt. Not only is it state law that you have to have a seatbelt on when you're in a motor vehicle, but these people are handcuffed and have no way of defending themselves. You think if his hands weren't cuffed, he would have broke his neck? Because I don't. 3 months after the incident, he sued the 5 officers involved in the city of New Haven. The charges that have led to his arrest have been dropped, while criminal charges have been filed against the officers. In addition to his paralysis, Cox suffered a cervical spine fracture, permanent paralysis below his neck, permanent atrophy of his muscles, and shortened life expectancy. July 7, 2022, New Haven Police Department updates transportation policies. And it's pathetic that this even had to be done. On Thursday, July 7th, the New Haven Police Department announces revisions to its policies for transporting people accused of crimes. Here they state that he was driving 11 miles over the speed limit, and that Cox pleaded for help. The new policy underscores requirements for police officers to place seatbelts on people transported in police vehicles, monitor the physical well-being for people during transport, and to call and render aid to people in medical distress. How did they even have to make that a policy? The law is you have to have a seatbelt on when you're in a vehicle. Not only that, you're handcuffing people and making it so they can't even hold themselves up or stop anything. And you're speeding. So just them having to make this a policy shows how inhumane they are and stupid these officers are. September 27, 2022, Cox sues. On Tuesday, September 27th, Cox sued the 5 officers involved and the city of New Haven for $100 million, which he should have got. The whole thing. Cox formally accuses the officers, all employed by the department during the incident, of negligence, carelessness, and excessive force, according to the federal lawsuit. October 20th, 2022, charges against Cox were dropped. On October 20th, New Haven prosecutors dropped the criminal charges against Cox. November 21st and 22nd, 2022, officers claimed qualified immunity. Officers claimed in court filings that their actions were covered by qualified immunity, a legal principle that can shield officers from being held responsible for constitutional violations. Which is wild, because none of this would have happened if they had followed the same laws that are in place that everybody else has to follow. Wearing a seatbelt, speeding, you know what I mean? Things like that. And if they had done that, none of this would have happened. And this just shows that it takes a real scumbag to defend these guys. Betsy's lawyer wrote in a court filing that Cox's own negligence and carelessness contributed to and was a substantial factor in causing the injuries and losses alleged. That's absolutely not true. And it's wild that they would even say that, because once he's in cuffs, he is now under their care. He was actually pretty calm and cool his whole arrest. So it's his fault that they threw him in the back of a van with no seatbelts and then decided to speed through the town. In the filing, the lawyers argue that Cox failed to act as a responsible, prudent person under the circumstances, failed to comply with lawful commands of officers on scene, and actively interfered with the investigation conducted by officers on scene. What lawful commands didn't he comply with? When did he actively interfere? Because I didn't see any of those things. So it sounds like they're just fabricating things to make it look like it was somehow Cox's fault. And I don't understand how court or a judge would allow lies to be put on the record, but it looks like it happened. On November 28th, more than 5 months after Cox was injured, each officer was charged with reckless endangerment and cruelty to persons following a months-long investigation. And that's funny because if anybody else goes out and commits a crime within a week or two, they have a warrant. But if you work for their gang, it takes up to 5 months to a year to 2 years, but usually never actually happens. Both charges are considered minor and neither require excessive jail time, if any. Randy Cox's legal team called the charges a slap in the face, which is exactly what they are. If anybody else would have done this, when you go into court, they would have charged you with way more charges and the judge would have told you how much the damages cost, the $45 million, the man being paralyzed for the rest of his life, and that you're a nuisance and you needed all this jail time. And they're going to justify it with the damages and the guy being paralyzed. It's just when it comes to any state employees or police or gangbangers like that, it doesn't apply. And here's another thing that just shows how they're above the laws. Connecticut State Police served the warrants to the officers, all 5 of whom turned themselves in. New Haven city officials said in a press conference at City Hall, each officer posted bail according to the state police. If they served the warrants, how did they turn themselves in? When the warrant gets served, they arrest you. So did they just go let them know that they had a warrant and left? And they went and turned themselves in on their own later? Because that's what it sounds like. I've never seen that happen for any citizen. January 11, 2023, officers plead not guilty. All 5 arrested city cops pleaded not guilty to the misdemeanor charges against them. June 9, 2023, Randy Cox settles with the city of New Haven. The city and Cox reached a historic $45 million settlement, the largest for a police misconduct case in U.S. history. And now they're giving these corrupt cops their jobs back. June 7, 2023, New Haven fires 2 officers involved. The Board of Police Commissioners voted to fire officers Jocelyn Lavenier and Louis Rivera for their roles in the incident. The vote was 4-0 with 2 absentations. And this had talked about when they were going to court. All 5 of them are still. 4 former Connecticut police officers arrested for allegedly, it's not allegedly, they did it, mistreating a man who wound up paralyzed in the back of a police van in 2022 were denied bids Thursday to enter a program that could have erased criminal charges against them and let them avoid trial. As it should be. They're already getting off with way less than they should be. Why would they give them more? The resulting injuries of the victims are of such a serious nature that the court feels that precludes participation in the program. Cox and New Haven State's attorney John Doyle opposed the officer's application to the probation program. Cox's lawyer, Jack O'Donnell, said Cox remained upset that the officers were not charged with felonies, as would anyone. After Cox was injured, city police announced reforms, including making sure all prisoners wear seatbelts. The state legislature last year approved by a new law spurred by the Cox case would require seatbelts for all prisoners being transported in Connecticut. Why does this need to be a new law? There's already a law stating that people need to wear seatbelts in Connecticut. And this is where it talks about Oscar getting his job back. He's on administrative duties while he completes a recertification process. Well, if he's getting recertified, that means they took a certification. They should have kept it that way. And he's only on non-administrative duties. Diaz and 4 other New Haven police officers still facing criminal charges. After Diaz successfully appealed his termination, he received a 45-day suspension from the Police Officers Standards and Training, which was considering decertifying him. City officials had originally said that they would appeal the labor board's decision in court, but the court denied the city's application to challenge the arbitration ruling. Why would the court deny that? In January 2024, the Connecticut State Board of Mediation and Arbitration overturned the New Haven Board of Police Commissioners' vote to terminate Officer Oscar Diaz for violations of general orders of New Haven Police Department related to the incident involving Mr. Randy Cox. Instead, the board issued a 15-day unpaid suspension. So for paralyzing Randy Cox, this officer got a 15-day unpaid suspension. Then he got to sit home for almost 3 years. Then goes back to work, and now we have to pay him all that back pay. So on top of the $45 million lawsuit, we got to give him almost 3 years of pay. While the city disagrees with the arbitration ruling, we are required to follow its direction. Here it talks about how they were suspended with pay shortly after Cox's accident. All 5 were charged by the state police with cruelty to persons and second-degree reckless endangerment. Those cases are pending, and all 5 officers are scheduled to appear in a remote hearing Thursday. And then it talks about the judge denying them the program. Why are they getting remote hearings? Why are these 5 officers not going to court like anybody else has to? This just reinforces more how they are above the citizens of Connecticut. You go ask for a remote hearing. See if you get it. Documents obtained by Hearst, Connecticut media show post officials reversed the recommendation of a hearing officer who said Diaz should be decertified, instead giving him a 45-day suspension. And this comes from the Granby police chief. So if anybody's around Granby, I would say be careful, because it appears like their chief is just a piece of shit. Make no mistake, this case is a tragedy. And in the totality, based on the outcome, it certainly undermines public confidence in law enforcement. And we need to do better, said Granby Police Chief Scott Sampson, a member of the post-certification subcommittee, while advocating that Diaz not be decertified. So he agrees that this is bad and that it undermines public confidence. But then he says, let's not decertify him. That's a real scumbag, and that's a real loser. And it sounds like this guy does not need to be on post or the police chief of Granby. This gets even worse. But Sampson said he felt that Diaz's actions that day were reasonable based on the situation that he was presented with, his level of training, experience, and lack of equipment and resources that were available to him at the time. That's all nonsense. What does he even mean? His level of training is subpar. Any normal person in that experience would have rushed him to the hospital or called 911. They wouldn't have drove to the department. Lack of equipment and resources. What did he lack other than a seatbelt? This just sounds like more excuses, and it seems like Sampson's a scumbag. Typical Connecticut cop. And this was it. January 2024, a panel of state arbitrators investigating Cox paralysis recommended that the New Haven police officer driving the van at the time of the incident be reinstated. In their decision, the panel said that the police union did not have just cause when it terminated Officer Oscar Diaz. This is where the unions and the police bargaining agreements come into play. This is how they keep bad cops on the street. Even though he's breaking multiple state laws and he was violating federal laws, these unions and bargaining agreements are in place to protect these losers. And they talk about it here, and this is an old article. They were talking about issues that were going on at that time. In fact, 7 police officers fired by Connecticut municipalities over the last 2 years were reinstated by a mediation board. The board ruled in favor of police unions and officers in cases and ruled in favor of the city or town in 9 cases. Some municipal officials say the mediation process is tilted in favor of unions and cost taxpayers large payouts for back wages, litigation, and other expenses. They also say there should be a way to overturn rulings at a local level, and I agree. It's not an effective system, said Danbury Mayor Mark Bolton. It takes years and costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. He said it's a very broken system. In each case, the arbitrators ruled that the municipality violated union contract and ordered the communities to reinstate the officers' pay and lost wages. And this is how they keep bad cops on the street. So they use these union contracts to keep these officers who are usually violating multiple state and federal laws in these incidents, and then turn around and tell the towns that they need to give these bad officers, these criminals, their jobs back and tons of money. The police union argued there wasn't clear evidence of unreasonable force in the video and complained that investigation officers never interviewed Sellner about the arrest. The mediation board concluded Danbury did not have just cause to terminate Sellner, and the city's investigation was not fair and objective. And I just showed this to show you guys what the unions whine about and argue about. There wasn't clear evidence of unreasonable force. The investigation was not fair and objective. The same exact thing police do to turn around and charge you and use in their half-ass investigations. They turn around and say is wrong when the town does it. And this is what they had to say. Not happy, the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities recently released a report of unfounded state mandates that focused in part on binding arbitration for labor disputes. Towns and cities must abide by mediation board decisions. They can appeal to a state superior court, but that effort is rarely successful. People always wonder how they keep bad cops on the force. We're looking at it right here. Unions, bargaining agreements, and shady arbitration and mediation boards. It erodes trust for people to have confidence. They didn't quarrel with the behavior in the Danbury case, Bolton added, referring to the arbitrators. They ruled on the punishment, Bolton said. We disagree. The arbitrator did not understand that our code of conduct is not part of the contract. Bolton said the ability to override decisions is needed. This right here shows a lot. It would make sense, Bolton said. I need to be able to manage my department and actions that didn't meet that standard, but we will follow the ruling and the officer will go back to the academy. Bolton added, this took 3 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it's a choice you have to make. Former state senator Suzio, a Meriden Republican who lost her seat last fall, said there is a sense among municipal officials that the mediation board favors unions. But what do you guys think? There's a lot here. And I think if the city of New Haven and the police department were so against this and they really believed they were right, they would not be giving this fool his job back. This just goes to show if they had handled this correctly from the beginning, it may have went a different route. If they had charged all these officers immediately like they should have, if they had charged them with charges that fit, we may not be sitting here. And I think it says a lot when it's the largest police misconduct lawsuit in history. How do you spin that up? Like, that didn't happen by accident. It happened because this is a bad department. They have a history of this. They have a history of making mistakes, committing crimes, and look what happened. But what I can say is that I can't expect anything else from police departments in Connecticut, Connecticut leadership, mayors, all that. This is what we expect. But let me know what you guys think about this. I thought this was wild. I actually couldn't believe it when I saw it, but I should have knew better. Leave it in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one.